You will find the link to beginner blockchain animation pack in the description and pinned in comments below. Most beginners think leverage is the shortcut to getting rich in crypto, but it's actually the fastest way to blow up your entire account before you even understand what you're doing. And the scariest part is you often won't realize you are in danger until it's already too late. Imagine turning $100 into 1,000 in a single trade and then losing all of it in 30 seconds while you stare at your phone completely frozen. That's the reality of leverage and overtrading in crypto, and it's quietly destroying more beginner accounts than any scam you have ever heard of. Stay with me because by the end of this video you will know exactly how people get trapped in this cycle and how to make sure it never happens to you. In this deep dive breakdown, we are going to uncover three things most beginners never learn until it's too late. First, how leverage secretly rewires your brain and makes you gamble even if you swear you are being logical. Second, the invisible line where normal trading turns into deadly overtrading and why you probably crossed it without even noticing. Third, the simple risks rule used by serious traders to stay in the game while everyone else gets liquidated. And near the end, I'll reveal one brutal truth about why exchanges actually want you to keep overtrading, which you definitely do not want to miss. If you are new to crypto and you want honest, no hype breakdowns that help you avoid expensive mistakes, consider subscribing now. We make deep dive videos like this to help beginners protect their money, understand the risks, and build something real instead of gambling it all away. Alright, let's start with the first trap, which is why leverage feels so good and right before it destroys you. Let's start with a question. If you could control $1,000 of Bitcoin with just $100, would you do it? Most beginners say yes instantly, and that is the first mistake. Leverage lets you borrow money from the exchange so that a small price moves feels massive in your account. If Bitcoin goes up just 5% with 10 times leverage, your profit is not 5%, it is closer to 50% on that margin. That is where the addiction begins. But here is the catch. The same math works in reverse, and a 5% drop does not just sting, it can wipe out your entire position and trigger liquidation where the exchange force closes your trade and keeps your money. Think of it like driving a car. Normal trading is cruising at 60 kilometers per hour. Leverage is flooring it to 200 kilometers per hour in the rain. Yes, you might get there faster, but the smallest mistake can end everything. This is why people feel like the market is hunting their stop loss. It is not personal. It is just that you are driving too fast on a road designed to make you crash if you do not know what you are doing. And what happens after you crash is even more dangerous, because the real damage usually does not come from the first liquidated trade. It comes from what you do next, and that is where overtrading quietly ruins everything. So you just blew up a big leverage trade. Your heart is pounding, your screen is red, and your stomach drops. What do most beginners do in that moment? They place another trade almost instantly. Overtrading is not just trading a lot. It is trading emotionally too, frequently and without a clear plan, usually after a loss. In crypto, the market is open 24/7, which means there is always another candle, another pump, and another coin moving. That constant noise tricks you into believing there is always another perfect opportunity you are about to miss. Professional traders do the opposite. They take fewer, higher quality trades with clear entry, stop loss, and take profit levels decided before they click buy. Beginners chase pumps, revenge trade after losses, and constantly increase their size just this one time to make it all back. If you have ever felt glued to the chart refreshing your phone in the bed at 2 a.m., you already know this feeling. At that point, it is not really trading anymore. It is compulsion, and leverage amplifies that compulsion into real financial damage. But here is the twist almost nobody talks about. Overtrading is not just your lack of discipline. There are systems designed to push you into it, and those systems profit every time you fall for it. So let's ask a hard question. If you lose money on a leverage trade, who is it on the other side of that loss? Once you understand that, you will see why the crypto ecosystem quietly encourages you to take on more risk. Exchanges earn fees every time you open and close a position, and leveraged positions tend to be larger and more frequent. More leverage usually means more trades, more liquidations, and more funding fees in some derivatives markets. Add to that the bright colors, the leaderboards of top traders, and the quick access to 10 times, 20 times, even 50 times options. None of this is an accident. It is designed to make you feel like you are missing out. If you are not using the tools the pros use, even though you might be a beginner who just installed the app last week. Once you see it this way, it feels less like you just lack discipline and more like you walked into a casino thinking it was a classroom. You can still win, but the room is not built for you to walk out with the jackpot. So, does that mean you should never use leverage? Not exactly, because there is a way serious traders use it as a tool instead of a trap, and that is where risk management comes in. Here is the part almost no viral social media trader wants to talk about, because it is not flashy, but it is the only reason they are still in the game. They follow boring risk rules that would probably feel too safe to you right now. Let's keep it very simple. Serious traders usually risk only a small percentage of their total capital per trade, often around 1 to 2%. That means if they lose it, it hurts, but it does not end their career. They also use stop loss orders to automatically close the trade if the price hits a certain level, which limits damage if the market moves against them. They size their positions based on that stop loss, now not on how confident they feel in the moment. On top of that, many will practice in a demo account first and then slowly scale up their position size as they gain experience instead of jumping straight into 50 times leverage. This does not feel exciting. It feels slow and it feels small. But ask yourself, what feels better? Slow controlled growth over years, or one lucky win followed by a total account destruction? And yet, even with these rules, there is one habit that will drag you back into overtrading if you do not kill it early. This habit is screen addiction. The more time you spend watching charts, the more likely you are to overtrade. Crypto never sleeps. New coins launch, prices move, and news drops all day and all night. Without boundaries, you start to believe you must always be in something or you are falling behind. This is where people start chasing pumps, jumping into coins they did not research, or opening trades minutes after seeing something on social media. They are no longer following their plan, they are following their emotions. A real risk plan includes rules like a maximum number of trades per day, no trading after a certain time, and no impulse trades outside your plan. It is not just about what leverage you use, it is about how often and why you are using it. It feels uncomfortably accurate. That is a good sign, because spotting this pattern in yourself early can save you from years of repeating the same painful cycle. So now you understand the mechanics of leverage, the trap of overtrading, and the systems that push you towards both. But how do you use this knowledge to build a long-term crypto strategy that does not rely on luck or leverage at all? Here is the uncomfortable truth. You do not need leverage to build life-changing gains in crypto. Most people simply do not have the patience to hear that. Real wealth in crypto, especially for beginners, comes from understanding the asset, managing your risk, and thinking in years instead of minutes. That means position sizes you can sleep with, no all in bets, and strategies that do not fall apart if one trade goes wrong. Leverage and rapid fire trading can still have a place, but only after you have built a solid foundation, proved you can follow a plan, and accepted that protecting your capital is step one, not chasing the next 100 times. When you start seeing each dollar as fuel for your future instead of tickets in a casino, your entire relationship with crypto changes. The real flex is not screenshotting one crazy winning trade. It is still being here years from now with a portfolio you grew intentionally with while the gamblers burned out and left. If this video helped you see leverage and overtrading differently, that is your sign to treat your crypto journey seriously. Subscribe now if you want deep, honest breakdowns that protect your money instead of just hyping the next coin. We are building a community of beginners who actually want to understand what they are doing with no fake signals, no secret groups, and just real education and risk aware strategies. If that sounds like you, you are exactly who this channel is for. Now that you understand how dangerous leverage and overtrading can be, the next step is building something sustainable. So before you open another trade, watch the next video where we create a realistic long-term crypto growth strategy step by step with simple rules you can actually follow. Click it now, because the difference between gambling and growing starts with what you learn next.